Hello everyone, hello, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Saturday's live review. Yes, a Sainsbury's live review special. Yeah, so basically been a long time since we did an actual supermarket review special. So yeah, normally every week I do a live review. It can be generally chocolate selections or something a bit interesting or mystery review, things like this. And every now and again we'll do sort of one sort of themed around a supermarket, basically reviewing their own brand products. And this time it's Sainsbury's basically. Yeah, so we've done Lidl, we've done Aldi, we've done Morrison's, we've done Asda. I think we've even done Tesco, yeah, and we've done probably quite a few supermarkets, but never done Sainsbury's before, so it's quite an interesting one to get this done. I've been quite looking forward to it for quite some time, because I've had the chocolate in the backlog for a fair while now, so yeah, so welcome aboard if you've not been here before. Basically, review chocolates. But do other reviews as well, things like this. There's a member program, you can see exclusive videos where I review crisps and ice creams and chocolate spreads, things like that, but generally it's chocolates on the channel, but could diversify sometimes. Now, of course, while we're keeping up the sort of a countdown to Easter, I guess, with opening a sort of Cadbury's Creme egg every live review I do. Long story short is you can win up to £10,000 if you find one that's half white, half milk chocolate on the egg as well. So last year they did it, and it was if the whole egg was white, but people were picking up in the wrapper and looking for a slight bit of basically milk chocolate. So they've so in order to counteract that, they've done it where it's half and half. So even if you do see a slight bit of milk chocolate, you're not guaranteed to actually know that it's not a winning egg. So there we go. So yeah, I think basically the places that you can win the max prize vary apparently. So Sainsbury's, Tesco, I think Morrison's, and Sainsbury's, Tesco, well, Tesco and Asda for sure. I think Sainsbury's and Morrison's, I think as well, offer the £10,000 prize. Other places less so. For instance, in Iceland, apparently it's only £1,000. I don't know how they know that. I believe it's probably a code in the wrapper. But I'm not sure. So there we go. Yeah. So where are we up to then? So right. So as I say, got to Tesco Sainsbury's special today. So we're going to sort of have a look at a few things. Now it's going to be the usual suspects. It's generally going to be probably sort of Sainsbury's own takes on various chocolate classics and their own sort of own brand chocolates. I mean, it's doing some comparisons. We've got their sort of how do you describe it really? Their sort of big brand stuff. The main, well, not big brand, but main sort of label stuff, or their cheaper brand as well. Yeah. So. Oh, and hi there, Scotty. Good to see Hainsbury one. Yes, about time too. I've got the bar that you bought me as well, Scotty. So thank you so much. I do have it, so thank you so much for that. Yeah, and don't worry about it. Yeah, I hope you're having a lovely time out and about. Yeah, good to see what you think later on. Yeah, have a good time, Scotty. Yeah, so there we go. So yeah, so where should we start then? Well, I think we should start with the sort of the favourite selections, of course. Now, Sainsbury's is the only one I've seen that actually does them in a pack of 4. Now, for whatever reason, I don't know why this is, but most supermarkets do their own versions of Mars, Snickers, Twix. What's the other one? Mars, Snickers, Twix, or Milky Way. Basically, sometimes not Milky Way, but generally the three. So I think Aldi, Lidl, Asda, well, they all do basically. But as far as I know, Sainsbury's is the only one that actually does them in the pack where you can get a mini versions, like in the party pack, which is really good because yeah. It's just a nice and easier way to do it, and it's certainly better for me because I didn't have to buy packs of all of them to get them reviewed. So interesting, this one, yeah. So that's a 25 and an asterisk next to it. I'm assuming that means because it's not guaranteed. Can't see where the asterisk is though, of course. It's probably somewhere obscure, so you can't tell just what's going on. I can't actually see where the asterisk is at all. Oh, there we go. It's on the front there. Average amount of it, that says there you go. Average amount. Very small there. So yeah, okay. I guess it's better than saying around 25, isn't it really? But there we go. Alright. Okay, well let's have a look then. I guess may as well just go over the calorie information. See all these reds and yellows and things. So it does say they're produced in Germany for Sainsbury's somewhere along the somewhere around here. Supports UTZ. Yeah, what have they turned to UTZ? I think they're now Rainforest Alliance. They've sort of like joined with them now. So you might normally see Rainforest Alliance, but they're the same thing nowadays. And there you go. I just saw it there. Packed in Germany. It says packed in Germany. I shouldn't mean made in it as well. Okay. And the flavour used is product are sourced from natural sources. All right. There we go. An assortment of treat-sized bars. So we'll see what the distribution is as well. I mean, it might. I'm assuming. Well, don't know if it'll be a standard distribution or not. It's got the different types here. So, what's this one? Per Whippy bar. So this is this is basically their Milky Way. So per 100 grams, 554 calories, 16 grams of fat, 9.5 which are saturates. It's quite unsaturated fat relatively, but low in calories per 100 grams. And usually chocolate bars are 500 to 550. my experience. But per bar, 73 calories. That's not too bad. 2.6 grams of fat, 1.5 which are saturates. So you see the fact that the 1.5 is in red, whereas the 9.5 per 100 grams isn't. Now, you know, I mean, it's confusing, that isn't it? I would say that's confusing, to be honest with you, because I would have said, really, it's the per 100 grams that matters, really. Because obviously 1.5 is a lot less than 9.5. You know, but it's obviously in proportion to the amount you're eating. So obviously the bar's quite small, so 1.5 grams of saturated fat is quite high, but it's only 1.5. You know, so if you only eat one, and that's your lot for the day, it's not so bad. So that's why those colour coding things can be a bit stupid. It shouldn't be based on the weight of the bar, you know. Or maybe it should, I don't know. But that's why there's a problem with it. Okay, so we've got nutty nougat bars, and then per bar, 100 grams. Let's see, 503 calories, 27.5 grams of fat. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, it is, yes. 11.6 which are saturates. There we go. Yeah, so higher in fat and saturated fat than the one. And per bar, 93 calories, 5.1 grams of fat, 2.1 of which are saturates. So you can see higher in fat there as well than the other one. Then toffee biscuit bars, I'm assuming they're Snickers. Well, what are they actually, toffee biscuit bars? Might be actually Twix, that maybe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, chewy caramel soft. Yeah, nutty nougat, chewy caramel, toffee biscuit. Oh, so that's the yeah. So with the Snickers with the nutty nougat, toffee biscuit is the Twix. Yeah, basically. So 503 calories per 100 grams, 25.7 grams of fats, 15.1 of which are saturates. So actually, less fats than in the nutty nougat one, but more saturated fats. And per bar, 73 calories, 3.7 grams of fat, 2.2 of which are saturates. Still odd though, the way that the calories aren't. I don't know. Anyway, not taken into account per per the size of the bar. You know, so the 86 calories isn't in red, even though it's probably high for the actual size of the bar. And then chewy caramel bars. Let's see, per 100 grams, 465 calories, 90.1 grams of fat, 11.1 of which are saturates. And per bar, 86 calories, 3.65 grams of fat, 2 of which are saturates. So there we go. Yes, there we are. Yeah. So the nutty nougat bar is probably the worst for calories. It is the worst, and worst for fat. Saturated fat. It's actually the Twix knockoffs. So there we go. But I guess the nutty ones because they've got nuts in. So what's the? Does it actually say how much they weigh, the actual individual bar? I don't think it does it? Yeah. Okay, and just to look at the ingredients: milk chocolate 39%, soft and whippy bars. So they have palm fat in them. There you go. Milk chocolate says cocoa size 20% minimum. Milk size 14% minimum. There we go. Milk chocolate 35% on the nutty nougat bars. It's got the same milk and cocoa size there as you'd expect. Peanuts in, palm fat again as well. Toffee biscuit bars, milk chocolate 36%. Palm oil again as well, palm fat, yes. So same cocoa solids and the milk solids. And then chewy caramel bar, milk chocolate 40%. Yeah, same milk solids and cocoa solids, and presumably palm fat in as well. I would imagine, if I can see it. Which I can't typically. Oh, there you go, palm fat, there we go. Okay, there we go. Right, great, good stuff indeed. Right, so let's continue on. We'll give these an open then. I'll perhaps move the camera down so we can have a look, and we'll see what the distribution's like, shall we? So let's give them an open. See what they're like. Just organise myself a bit. There we go. Yeah, I've got some kind of wiring display there. Where is it? There we go. Okay. There we go. Right. Okay. I'll just turn the brightness down slightly because it's a bit bright, as you can see. That looks an interesting one. This one does look interesting. I say I quite like the way that they're, as I say, put into a multi-pack bag like this. It's really good. That. And hi, Joe. How are you doing? Oh, good to see you, Joe. How's things today at your end? Hope everything's okay. We're just doing the Sainsbury review this time. A supermarket here. You don't know if you've heard of them, but big one anyway. The big one, a bit more, slightly more posh, perhaps than other supermarkets, but not massively so. Right, so this is their sort of standard bar where you got your Mars bar, your Snickers, your Twix, and your Milky Way, but they're knockoffs. So Milky Way soft whippy, nutty nougat Snickers, toffee biscuit Twix, chewy caramel Mars bar. Okay, and in the UK, in the US, the Milky Way is actually the Mars bar in the UK. So I don't know if the US have an equivalent of this one, of what we call the Milky Way. Yeah. Yes, made it look like 5. I know I thought that as well, Tails. Good to see you, by the way, Tails. Glad you could make it back again. I hope you're doing okay. Good to see you yesterday as well. I hope you're doing all right. Yes, how's things at your end? Hopefully everything's going okay with you as well. We've got a bit of stormy weather here in the UK at the moment. It's been a bit gusty. Working hard this week. I know it's been quite a few. This is the 3rd live this week, isn't it? 3 lives in a week. Wow. Yeah, I've still got look back to do. Hopefully for tomorrow. Take a long time look back, really. Yeah. So it has been a busy one. Yes. I hope you've been doing okay. How's work for you, Joe? Everything all right? But you're doing great. That's good to hear. Good to hear. And hope you're doing as good as well, Tails. Yes. All right, let's give these an open then. So as I say, really nice that and we do have the cream egg that will open at some point. See if we won the £10,000 prize or any prize. Great if we won something, wouldn't it? Okay. Sorry for the noise here. Let's just give this an open. So look at the distribution. I'm quite pleased to be doing another supermarket one. It's been a long time. Oh wow. Interesting smell coming from it. It reminds me of a paint, actually. Now look at that. Look at that. They all look the same. That's not very good, is it? That's not what I was expecting. I think that's a bit poor. The smell coming from them smells like paint. Not a strong paint smell, but there's a smell of paint. It doesn't smell very nice at all. Yeah. Well, it smells like paint. I guess paint's. But yeah. It's sort of like imagine like a weak paint smell. That's what it smells like coming from in there. So it's a bit unusual. So we should have 25 in here. I don't like the way they're all the same colour. I think that's pretty poor, that. They obviously do have different writing on them. They do have different writing on them, as you might be able to see. But generally they're all the same colour, so I think that's a bit poor. Let's try and sort them out then into different kinds. So we can see what the distribution is. So it could be randomness distribution. It might be fixed. I don't know, but either way, it doesn't matter. Unless we're lucky, of course, or unlucky. But then that's what we're doing it for. Okay. Right, so we'll just organise them slightly. So there's only 4 different kinds. But as Tails said, it did look like there was 5 kinds on the front. When you look at the Twix being snapped in half, it does make it look a bit like there's 5. I think that's a bit cheeky, that. Because they've not done it with all the others, have they? Where they've, got the other half on display. Why have they done it with that one? So I think it is a bit cheeky, that one. I don't know why they've done that. Unless it's actually just to make it look like there's more than there is. It could be slight to differentiate from the others, but I don't think you really need to do that. Okay, so what have we got? All right. So I think we've organised these. So let's see. So we've got 5 of the nutty nougats. We've got a lot more of these of the Mars bars, but it's a bit caramel. What's it called? Chewy caramel. So I think that's so look at that. We've got a lot more of these. Which is a bit poor, isn't it? So we've got 8 of those. 6, 12, 18. So there should be 6 of each on average, basically, to get the 24. And we've got 5 of the Twixes. And they're the smallest ones as well. So again, a bit poor. And then looks like we've got quite a few of the Milky Ways. Quite a lot of them. I think we've actually got over 24 here, I think. So we've got 8 of those and 5 of each of them. So 8, 16, yeah. So we've actually got 26 here. So we've actually got 25. So we've got slightly one over. And the smallest one, which is the Twix, we've got the fewest of, or joint fewest of. So we have actually potentially ended up on top here, but it's still a bit rubbish that need to sneeze. That's me. That we've got sort of, I don't know. Basically, if we'd had one more of those, that's what we should have had, 6 of each maybe. But I reckon we should have more of these because these are smaller. We mentioned that before. Basically, Tails, just at the start, it's there at the bottom. Average amount, it says. So I guess by average, it does mean that some people are likely to get more than others. But so I don't know. So I feel like we should at least. We should really, even if it says average amount, which does mean that some people will get less and some will get more. But we should get 6 of each, I reckon. Still, really. But we have got, it's a reasonable amount now, I think you'd say. I think we've got sort of 8, 16, as I say, 26. So, you know, we have gone above average, and not with the smaller ones either. Yes, but there we go. Yeah, yeah, on the big pack. Yes, yeah. So there's a bit of time delay between. I think you would have seen, but just in case, yeah, it says the average amount at the bottom there. Yeah. So yeah, we mentioned that at the start, basically, right? Just before. So yes, so it is a bit. It's just not. I'm not too. You've got more of these ones, but it's not by. We've got more of these than we should have, really. So I mean, we should probably, you know, yeah, it should probably be like that, really, and then we still have more of these. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed with that. I think there's still, I'll say, a lot more of these ones than those ones, but we're only missing one of these, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Although you could argue that these are a bit smaller, but then you'd still have one at a time. All right, so let's move these away, shall we? So yeah, so yeah, I don't know what to think. A mixed bag, that literally and figuratively. Yes. Okay. Let's just move these away and leave one of each out, maybe, just for the moment, so we can see what we're doing. So what I'll probably do, might just look at them all individually, maybe. Sorry, once rather, and then just taste them all at once, so we don't keep them moving up and down. Maybe that's what I'll do. Might be an easier way to do it. So here we go. So we've got the different ones here. So I'll say the packaging's not the best. Could be better. Yeah, fake bounty. That's a good point. There's no bounties, is it? They should have had the fake bounties. Now there's 5x5. Yeah. They should have had. I don't know why they've not done that, really. But yeah, and then it would have, you know, then they could have made the front look better, like you say, like there was actually 5 products in there rather than the 4. Yeah, missed opportunity there perhaps, but mind you, maybe if it's aimed at kids, I guess, well, the kids like, I don't know. In the Mars fun size ones, I'm sure they do bounties, don't they? So yeah. All right, so here we go. So it's so there's not much to look at with these, and we'll have a look at it closely. Chewy Caramel Chocolate Bar by Sainsbury's, very poor wrapper, really. I assume the bigger ones are the same. We've got Nutty Nougat Chocolate Bar by Sainsbury's. It's got a love heart as in the C there, which is okay, I guess. But I think is it meant to be a love heart? It might be meant to be one. Looks like one anyway. Yeah, soft and whippy chocolate bar. So they're very poor, really. It's not, as I say, the back's just all blurred. We've already gone over it, really. It tells you a bit sort of description of what it is on the back. Soft nougat milk chocolate bar. It focuses in. But you know, we've seen that on the back of the main wrapper anyway, so there's not really much point in going back over those. And then the toffee biscuit one as well. Chocolate bar. I'll just see if on the front it does use sort of love hearts for the C's and stuff. Yeah, just on that front. I think they've done it on purpose. You see on the front of the pack, the C there does have a distinct love heart look to it, whereas the C's everywhere else on it, nothing. You know, not many C's, but a toffee biscuit on a toucan one, and not in the same font, so they don't look like love hearts anyway. So yeah, so it's just for that one thing we've done it. Yeah, exactly, and you do it. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Indeed, changing the wrapper's colour would be great. They missed the opportunity. Yeah, you do it to all the other ones, haven't they, as well? In Lidl and you know, most of the others have sort of like very colourful looking chocolate bars and things. I don't know if it's just for the mini ones or they do it for the main ones, but I imagine it's probably the same. But yeah, so Lidl and Aldi and a lot of the other supermarkets have done them slightly differently. Okay, so we'll give them an open then. So we'll do this all at once, I think. I don't think we'll, you know, so we'll keep them quite close, see what they look like in comparison. So that's the chewy caramel, so I think that's the Mars bar one. We'll open the, what's this one? Nutty Nougat one. You can. See if they have a difference to them. So you can see they do have a different sort of ridge design, which Mars do on their products as well, which is quite good. We've got the soft and whippy. I'll show you a bit closer in a minute. Get another design. So that's quite nice. I like the way they do have a distinct design on them. I think, as I say, Mars do that as well. Clearly the Twix just looks different, so there's no real reason for that to have a different design. But yeah, so you can see here's the Mars one. Here's the Snickers one. You can see the difference. And then the Milky Way one. So you get the sort of crosses on that one. There's a straight line one in the Snickers, and there's sort of like chevrons on the Mars one. So interesting one, that one. I quite like the way they do that. Or below the main packet. You like that one, do you? Yes, quite a nice one, isn't it? It's a bit more, yeah, it's like a nice metallic, isn't it? Yeah, it is quite nice on the front one. It's a shame they didn't do that on the mini ones, I guess, at least use the same blue. It's a bit darker, isn't it? Just normal. Yeah. But it was nice. It's a budget range. Yeah, gonna be about cost of. Well, this is it. But the other ones do nice ones. The same ones in Lidl and Aldi, in the other supermarkets as well, have a nicer design on them. So you're right. So it is about price, but I have seen better in Lidl and Aldi in places like this. They have actually quite nice wrappers. You know. So yeah, I think they're probably cheaper. I don't know what the price difference is. They might not be, but I assume they probably are. Or at least not any different. Yeah, but yes, this is it. Right, so let's have a measure then. So the Mars one, let's give it a quick go. Yeah, would you ever buy any of these budget range stuff? Would you just go for the main ones? What do you think, Tails and Joe? What would you do? 4.8. There we go. And width. I assume they're all about the same, so we'll just do the width in all of them. 4.7, 4.8. That's for the Snickers. Milky Way, about 4.7 this one, but you can depend, they're not flat at the side, so if I did it a bit further down, it's about 4.8. But so they're not flat too much. Twix a bit longer, or whatever it's called. Camel biscuit, 6.1. Yes, there we go, yeah. Food for UK's do come in the supermarket, Twix off. Yeah, see? I had this pack from Sainsbury's a while ago. Looks like the design hasn't changed. Yeah, yes, this is it. Even so, would you invest in it? Yeah, see, would you? Yeah, it's not too bad, really. Not too bad. I quite like these ones. I think they're quite nice. Yes, I think the only one I noticed that was a bit poor was I think it was Lidl's Twix was distinctly not too great from memory. Yeah. So there we are. So it's one of those really. Hi, Matthew. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see you. Yeah, looks nice too, you think? Yeah, I've had these before. You like them? They're all pretty. I mean, there's not a massive difference between them all. It's fair to say. I'll say the worst one I think I had was it was Lidl's Twix. It distinctly tasted like a biscuit rather than a thingy. So it's one of those. Yeah. I mean, well, I described that as well like that, Andrew. If you remember when I did it, yeah. I said it was distinctly like a biscuit. Yeah. So maybe he's been copying my channel. But yes, that was the one that was distinctly different. Yeah, the others were kind of much of a muchness. I think there was some slight difference, but it was one of those. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember which one I prefer. Supposed to be, I didn't really find a massive amount of difference between them all. Yeah, I can't quite recall. Obviously, I've not done these ones yet. They weren't a massive amount of difference. I think the Aldi one from memory was quite nice for the Mars and things. I seem to remember the Mars bars were quite nice. I think, they just had something a bit different about them. Maybe the little ones as well, slightly. But the little one was distinctly the only one that was really different as far as the Twix was concerned. It just wasn't. It just was like a regular biscuit rather than a distinctly Twix biscuit. It was distinctly different. Yeah, and not in a good way really, because it just didn't taste like a Twix. It tasted like, as I say, just a regular biscuit that's been used in a chocolate. Yeah, so it wasn't bad or anything. It just wasn't, yeah, it wasn't what you'd want from it really. Okay, height of this one 1.7. But yeah, I think the Mars bar ones, I seem to remember the little, possibly Aldi, maybe both or one or the other. 1.6, maybe just about 1.7. Depends. There's ridges on these ones, so they had a bit of a different taste to them. They just had something a bit different. Nothing special, but it was just something that it was a bit slightly more interesting. 1.6. I don't distinctly remember the Morrison's one being anything too particular, to be honest with you. I can't, not off memory anyway. 1.3, 1.4, right there. Yeah. So Twix obviously thinner, but longer. Yeah, and there we go. I do the width as well. Did I do the width? 2.5. 2.5 again, pretty much the same as you'd expect. These ones are pretty similar. Well, the Milky Way one obviously seems to be a bit smaller. 2.4. 2.2. Yeah, right, so there we go. Okay, so obviously the Twix one is different here. Like Tails said, it's a shame it didn't have a bounty one in here, but, as I say, they did that sort of trick on the front. Let's make it look like there's 5. Let's have a look in the middle then. Let's see. I'll cut from the side maybe. In fact, yeah, I'll cut from the side. Okay. Let's do more. It won't matter. There we go. So we cut from the side on all of them. So let's have a look. So here's the Mars bar one. Nice, actually quite a dark centre there. I'm intrigued by that. Quite darker than the regular Mars bar, which is interesting. I quite like the. I'm intrigued by that one. I think it's a bit darker anyway. It's usually a bit lighter. Mars bar centre. And there's the. You can see the difference there between the Snickers one as well. Obviously more caramel in the Snickers one. Distinctly more caramel there. And I've chopped it from the side as well, so we shouldn't have. It's not pushing down to squish the caramel, which is why I chopped it from the side. We can see the chocolate's a bit thicker in the Mars bar one, so that's interesting. That's quite interesting. Doesn't seem to be any nuts in this one, but definitely a thicker caramel. Yeah. I think normally the nougat in Mars, just trying to see if it'll focus in a bit again. It's kind of is a bit more of a mix between these two colours. There we go, it's focused in now. But it's a bit darker, so that's quite interesting. So it does imply there might be quite a distinct taste there. We've got the Milky Way one, of course, probably looking, well, has squished to the side a bit because I chopped it to the side. Looks okay. I don't think it looks quite as whippy as a Milky Way normally looks. And there's the Twix. Quite standard, actually, quite a thick. Not bad camera. It seems to go right to the top there, doesn't it? Which is quite interesting. Again, I've cut it from the side. That's quite interesting. That's quite interesting, yeah. So we'll see. Yes. Yes, to mini egg bar. I'm going to try that one this week. Yeah, it's not got the same. They haven't used sort of like cochineal or carmine or whatever to flavour the shell this time, or not to flavour, to the colouring. So actually, it should be a bit better. Yeah. So I'm quite. So I am quite interested in that because it does say they had a bit of an off taste. For one of those. So. Yeah, one of those. I was a bit, as I said, I didn't mind the mini eggs, the normal ones, but I'd say because they had that odd colouring to it, made it look very much like a carrot as well, which was a bit weird. But it tasted a bit funny as well for me, so I wasn't massively enamoured by the actual eggs, but they'll say the bar one doesn't use that same colouring, so I'm interested in that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and hi there, Rick. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see you, Rick. How are you doing? Oh, really good to see you. Glad that you could make it again because I know it's about 4 in the morning where you are. I think it is anyway. So yeah. Oh no, it's early, isn't it? 1 in the morning now, I think. Yeah, but still quite late. Oh, but good. Yeah, good to see you, Rick. Good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, hope you had a good sleep as well. Yeah, I was going to say the mini eggs. Look like Smarties. Yeah, they call them micro mini eggs, don't they? Yeah, I've got the bar to review. I'm going to hopefully do it this weekend. Yeah, taste like mix. Veggie extracts and colour, like orange, not carrots. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why they didn't do that originally. I don't know why they didn't do that originally. And as it really affected the taste as well. Don't know why they did that. Very strange. Yeah, 1:30. See, you do well, Rick. I mean, I was up quite late last night. I didn't go to bed till about. I'm up late most nights, really. But obviously, being Saturday, I had a bit of a sleep in today. I usually go to bed about 2, 3 in the morning most nights. Unfortunately, during the week, it's a problem because I have to get up at 6 to 7. So usually at the weekend, I'm completely knackered. So I just have a long sleep. So I got about 12 today. So I just get up. Yeah, just need that sleep. Yeah. See, give the Toast Mini Eggs bar 4.5 out of 5. Very addictive. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited, Andrew. I'm hoping I'll think the same. I'm confident. Yeah. So fingers crossed. I was a bit worried though. I always think, why not? Well, the advantage Terry's has is it's got the orange chocolate, and I think unlike the mini egg bar, where you think, well, why am I not just having mini eggs, which actually have that added bonus of the powdery egg and things? I think actually the Terry's chocolate orange, because it's got chocolate orange in the chocolate, it's just, I think it will work really well in that one. I don't think it would. Yeah, I don't see any detriment, if you know what I mean. Whereas in the mini eggs Cadbury's one, it seems a bit pointless to me. Well, not pointless, but I just think, well, hang on, I could just be having mini eggs, Yeah. I'm going to toast for Wild Eyes. Well, see if you can get some. Well, I know you might have difficulty where you are at the moment, but yeah, they're nice. They're doing loads of new products now, Rick. Used to just be literally pretty much the oranges, but now they do loads of bars and things. Yeah, Yes, well, I don't know why they've not done that, Andrew. Maybe they're just saving it for next year. Because they do seem to be pushing it all this year, don't they? Yeah, be all like mini eggs bar. Yeah, well, fingers crossed. I'm sure they will do. I mean, they seem to be quite on the money with it, don't they? Okay, well, let's start with the Twix then. Not too. I think this might. Well, it's all about the biscuit as we've been discussing before. So let's give it a go. A very soft biscuit, this one. It's a very soft biscuit. It's perhaps too soft, the biscuit in this Twix. Just try another bite. Well, it's not a Twix. It's a toffee biscuit chocolate bar. Nice chew from the caramel, the toffee. But the biscuit's very soft. Yeah, it's not quite as bad. Well, not quite as normal as the little one from memory. That was very much tasted like another biscuit, like one you just get in a pack of biscuits, shortcake type one. This one though is just very soft. It's a bit, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's very different. It's very distinct. It's very sort of, as I say, it's just a really soft biscuit to the point where there's hardly any kind of, I don't know. It's different. I'm not sure in a good way for myself, but I think some people might prefer it. I prefer a bit more of it. I prefer it to be a bit more crunchy, basically. So it's really, I think it's down to opinion, but yeah, I don't know if it works as well. I feel like it's just a bit too soft. It just feels a bit not the right biscuit for the job, basically. But nonetheless, it does mean you get a bit more out of the caramel. I mean, you sort of like, the caramel's a bit more prominent, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure it tastes. It doesn't taste like another kind of biscuit that I can think of as by which I mean just a regular off-the-shelf biscuit. I can't think of like a one that is exactly the same as it. Well, unless it could be. But yeah, it just tastes a bit too soft. I'm not too sure about it really. I don't think it works very well. It does mean that the caramel's quite prominent. And it is called a toffee bar as much as anything else. But I do think this one's distinctly different, not than regular Twix and probably some of the other own brand ones as well. I say not as much as the little one. That was sort of quite obviously another biscuit, but this one is, as in you could tell it was another biscuit, as in an actual other biscuit. But this one, it just tastes a bit too soft. Yeah, I don't know. I think a normal Twix is probably a 3.5 out of 5. I quite like Twixes normally. They're not amazing, but I think this one's probably a bit disappointing. I think it's probably. Well, I don't know. Let's just try another. Yeah. The biscuit tastes really. It's quite a mundane flavour as well. The biscuit has a bit of a weird sort of, I don't know, not baked very well kind of taste to it. Yeah. I think for me it's probably. Normally I might have given that a 2 out of 5, but I think I'm probably going to. See, the problem is, I think my rating, because I rated more and more chocolates, I think some things, just to say it's below average, I don't think is good enough really anymore. I think this one is a 1.5 out of 5. It's just not a very good Twix, that really. It's not really even below average, I don't think. I think it's not horrible, but it's not just below average, it's just not very good, that one. And I think that's a 1.5 out of 5. I think I've got to start different because chocolate's generally quite nice, so that's why 3.5 is 3 out of 5 is the average. But then below average, obviously 2 out of 5. But I think this one is just not a very good product. The biscuit just doesn't taste good, really. I don't think it's soft, and some people might prefer that, but it's just not a very nice taste either. So it's not really just the softness that's I think a problem. I don't think the softness works myself. So I think that would have made it a 2 out of 5. But the fact it's not actively very pleasant, it's not horrible, but it's just not very nice. So I think that's why it's a 1.5 out of 5. Just not a good Twix, that one. Yeah, not a good one, that. Yeah. If only more to come something catchy, like toffee biscuit chocolate bar instead of silly old Twix. Yes. I bet it would caught on more. Yeah, I know. Yeah, honestly. It does make it's weird, isn't it? I guess. I don't know, I quite like the way that, as I said, that's the other thing as well, actually. And the other, good point there, Andrew, really. Yeah, other ones, such as, I think the Morrison's ones and the trying to think actually. No, now you've mentioned it, I do seem to remember that the Morrisons things were a bit distinct actually. Now you mention it, Andrew, because did seem to be distinct. It's coming back to me a bit now that they were a bit more distinct. Those ones, a bit different than all the others. I seem to remember thinking that actually, but I can't quite. It hasn't stayed in memory enough, so maybe I need to go back and watch my own video. But I do seem to remember saying, I think to you actually, about the fact that they weren't made in all the products weren't made in Germany and things like this when we were reviewing them. They seem to be a bit different, or something distinct about them anyway. So it is coming back to me a bit now. But yeah, these ones have made no effort at all, like you say, Andrew. They're not like the other ones, like Morrison's and other places called them, similar names, like I don't know, like Apollo or something, or Aries or something like that, whereas these have just called them literal names, and I think that's a bit rubbish, really. I don't know, a bit poor. All right, well, let's try the Milky Way one and the Milky Way equivalents. Let's have a see. A bit of a chop one here, so let's have a go. Milky Way's generally quite nice. Yes, I did cream egg today. Yeah, I've got it. I've still got it. Yeah, we're going to do it in a bit. Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely on the to-do list. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, let's give this Milky Way a taste. Let's see if it will focus in. A bit squashed on where I've cut it, but there we go. A bit fluffy inside. Good to go. Milky Way is usually quite nice. Not too bad. Tastes relatively. Let's see. Tastes okay. It tastes alright. I don't think it tastes. Yeah, it's quite an average taste as well. I don't think it quite tastes as good as regular Milky Ways. I think from memory, it's certainly not. I quite like Milky Ways when I have them generally. They taste quite nice. I'm not like going to blow your socks off or anything, but I usually quite enjoy them actually when I eat them, especially in sort of like the celebrations ones were a bit more micro, a bit more compact. I don't think this is quite as good, but it has the rough taste of it. It's just not quite. I don't know. It's very similar though. It's not that much different, It's quite an average one. This one, I think, it's just 3 out of 5. It's quite a fluffy taste. Has quite a nice sweet inside. It's quite fluffy, quite nice, quite pleasant. Can't really taste the chocolate on it or anything particularly. It's just quite a nice texture, sort of fluffy, sweet centre, like a bit of a nougat-y centre, but a bit more interesting than that, as it's quite whipped and quite fluffy. So it's a bit more interesting, like a sort of your nougat-y type thing, a bit more of a substance to it. But yeah, it's quite nice that. But as I say, I think it's quite average one. I don't think it's a particularly amazing Milky Way or anything like that. It just tastes okay. It's just a quite solid taste, that one. Yeah. Yes. Sprinters, give their off-brand chocolate bars funny names like Sprinters for Snickers copies. Yeah, I know. I do remember that. It was good. That yes, I know. I quite like their names. Yeah, I think Lidl is Lidl or Aldi the same. There's one other one that's the same, isn't there? I can't think which one it is now. They call them, similar-ish names as well. But it's interesting. I like the way they do that. I remember commenting on that as well. I thought it was quite funny. Yes, and then a good day gets you closer to the grave. Yeah. A Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. An egg a day gets you closer to the grave. Yes. Go to see if there's a cream egg themed ice cream on the market. I think there is. I know you can get the McFlurries. There was a McFlurry cream egg from McDonald's. Unless I'm thinking of that, but I think there is. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. We have to do that for a members review. If I see it, I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah. I feel like this. I'm sure I've seen the box. I'll keep an eye out for that. Rick, I'll keep an eye out for that one. Keep repeating myself. Yeah. Okay, let's try the Snickers one. I'm a big fan of Snickers regularly. I quite like them, even though they're a bit of a sort of not really an amazing sort of bar to think about, but I quite like them. I think they're quite nice, refrigerated as well. So let's see what this one's like. They've got a bit more nuts on this side than the other one. Seem to be a bit missing the nuts on it, but I think they've just come out onto this side. Let's give it a go. I always quite like the nougat as well. It smells like a Snickers. Not too bad actually. I think it's better when refrigerated because I feel like it gives you a bit more of a chew. I actually quite like Snickers, and I think this one tastes actually quite like the regular bar. I think this one actually. It smells like it and tastes like it as well. Quite a lot of caramel in there, so it could be displaced with peanuts, but meaning to be less of it. But Not bad. I'm not a massive peanut fan generally. I know Jow's a massive peanut fan, but I quite like them in Snickers, as I say. Mm. I quite like this. It's nice. I think this works as a Snickers bar. It tastes just. I mean, might be slight differences, but not that I can really take. Can really sort of find. I think that's quite nice actually. It's a good Snickers bar. I'd say Snickers for me. I don't know. It kind of grows on me a bit. I think it's a bit of a saltiness to maybe that the regular Snickers doesn't have, but it's not bad, I mean, Snickers maybe in the old days would have given a 3.5 out of 5, but I quite like Snickers now. And I say refrigerated, I think they're really good. So I might seem overboard, but I think they just work. I like the texture of the nougat centre. I don't know, it has a distinct taste over Mars. I think it's quite nice. I like the caramel peanut combo. I think when refrigerated, they give you a real chew as well. The only thing I would say about this one is that the chew might not be quite as much as the regular Snickers, but again, normally I've got them from a vending machine and they've been refrigerated. So, I think it's between a 3.5 and a 4 for this one. I think I'm gonna go with a 4. I think I like that one. It's nice. I think Snickers are actually quite a nice bar. I think they've definitely grown on me as I get older as well. I think I don't know why that is, but yeah, I like that. And I think it ticked all the boxes for me. It didn't taste particularly different. It was a good Snickers representation, that one. I say it's smaller, so it could be that the bigger one, there's a chance it might not be quite the same bar if it's bigger because of the proportions and things. But I actually quite like that. Yeah, that was nice. Had Ben & Jerry's the other day. They started importing. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's triple caramel chunk. Not sure if you get that one. It's pretty good. Have I had that one? I'm not sure. I'll have to look out for that, Rick. I don't think I've had that one, but it sounds nice. I don't know if I've had that. There are some new ones, and I have got some for the members, reviews. So it might be there because I do feel like I've seen it. Yeah, still sell cigarettes in vending machines in Japan. See, wow, you can get them. Can you get them in pubs? I remember seeing one about 10, 15 years ago. Although I don't know if it was active actually. Maybe it wasn't working anymore. Yeah, it's interesting. It's weird how, like I guess it's quite some time ago now in the UK anyway. Obviously, I can't speak for Canada and things, but when cigarettes were banned in pubs and things, inside, it wasn't that long ago. And it was it's hard to believe now. And I remember being young when you used to smoke on planes as well, which is bizarre. You can't even imagine it now. And I remember seeing a TV show in the late 90s, and people. This was before I started working, still at college or uni or whatever. But they were smoking in the office and things. Really bizarre to think about, isn't it? That used to happen. You couldn't imagine it or comprehend it now that would happen. We're not, it's not that. Well, it doesn't feel like that long ago. Yeah, back in the day, yeah, you get them in pubs. Yeah, the same here. So I did see one in a sort of like an old school pub when I went to my old job. I used to go there at lunch or after work and things. I don't know if it still works. I don't smoke, so I never even tried it. But yeah, interesting, really. Bizarre, isn't it? How times have changed. Bizarre. Right, now the one I'm looking forward to, this Mars knockoff, then whatever it's called, chewy nougat chocolate bar. I'm quite looking forward to this one, even though it's got big air pockets in here, which is a bit poor. Because I just feel like the nougat looks distinctly different from the Mars, and I prefer. Well, I don't know. I actually quite like the lighter nougat when that's available, like in the Snickers. So we'll see. But yeah, let's have a go. Let's give it a taste. Mars bars for me, I'm not a massive fan of. I prefer them when they're refrigerated. It just brings out the taste a bit better. I think they do tend to work better in smaller sizes. It's not bad, this one. Not bad. On airplanes as well, yeah, that's what I remember. Yes. Bizarre, isn't that? They still have the no smoking signs, don't they, as well? I think just for, not because they just don't want people to smoke anyway, but even though it goes without saying, but they still have them on the thing. It's always turned on now, but they used to turn off when we were, well, actually when you were as well, younger. Bizarre. I heard a rumor, I mean, I think this is partly not, I think there's a bit of bias on this, but I heard that because people don't smoke anymore, they don't circulate the air as much or like give you fresh air basically. So you're more likely, I mean, it might have changed now because of what's been going on in the world, but so, the air was a bit more stale and things because they weren't forced to flush it out and put new fresh air in or whatever they used to do. That's what I heard anyway, but obviously maybe it's changed now what we've tried to keep things from spreading. But yeah, interesting on this one. Tastes a bit more like old school Milky Way really when it used to be, or a Flight Bar when they were around. The sort of the centre from this. rather than the centre from a Mars bar. It doesn't taste the same. As I say, it tastes more like Milky Ways when I was young used to have a darker centre like that. Maybe it was that dark. And that's what it tastes like. I say it's a bit more Milky Way like than a Mars centre. It doesn't taste, it has a bit of a cocoa-y taste to it. So I don't know. Mars bars for me are not the best bar, I must say. They're okay. They are quite an average bar. This one, a bit different because of the centre, but it tastes a bit more, as I say, a bit more Milky Way like. Could be because of the size. I don't know. But the consistency just is a bit not quite the same as a regular Mars bar. And I don't know if it's probably a bit of a sideways step. I don't think it's better or worse. I think Mars bars for me though do need to be refrigerated to just make them a bit more substantial. But I don't think this one is the same as a Mars bar. So it's more Milky Way like with a bit of caramel on top. It's all right. Is the gist of it. It's okay. I think it's quite an average one. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, it's between a 2.5 and a 3, I think. It's okay. I think I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, say 3 out of 5, but it's probably more a 2.5 than a 3.5. So on another day, it could be a 2.5, really. So it's all right, that one. It's not really a Mars bar. It's more like a Milky Way Mars bar mix. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. It's not really a good thing either, I don't think. I quite like the old school Milky Ways, I must say, but I think it's more like a sort of knockoff Milky Way mix. I guess I probably should have elaborated too. I don't know. It's not quite as interesting as a sort of a Milky Way. I don't know. It's like the one in this one. They're not. It's okay. They're not quite the same kind of thing. But it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So maybe it should more have been a 2.5. But I don't know. 2.5, 3. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we should go to bar in UK when you're in a hurry and stopping by a convenience store, right? Yeah, ooh, difficult one, this one. Well, depends. It depends. It depends on my mood, I guess. I do have this actually. Not always when I'm in a hurry, when I just need something. But yeah, even so. Yeah, difficult one, this, Rick. I think if I went to get one, I'd quickly have to make a choice. It might be a double decker. But I do quite like Snickers. I do like the substantialness of a Snickers. I like the way it's got a big chew to it. I know they're quite mundane or whatever, but I don't know, there's a bit of a substance about them, even though they're quite small nowadays. It just means that they last a bit longer to chew. But I do quite like double deckers for a similar reason, actually. They're quite nice, but I find that they're not, I don't know, I think Snickers just has something about it, even though it's quite boring. And when I think about it, I think, well, it's not really that great a bar, but it seems to hit the spot, really. Yes, I would have thought probably one of them too. Is there anything else? Quite like toffee crisps, but they're so small and they're quite quick to eat. As I say, like a Snickers lasts a bit longer, really. I just find it's got a bit more of a chew to it. Yeah, so probably one of those. Not necessarily the best bar, but it's just something that just gives me something that's a bit substantial, really. I feel like I'm getting a bit more of my money's worth. Yeah. Well, what about you, Rick? Is there anything in there, in Canada or even Korea, that's you like to get? Yeah, what would your go-to bar be? Difficult one, really, because it can depend on your mood, of course. I'm just going to sort of clean up the knife and things. So yeah, yeah, interesting. I'll tell you what, we might do the old opening now, shall we? Why not? Yes, do the cream egg opening. Yeah. So I just think a Snickers is quite. It's not a 5 out of 5 bar, but it's just something. It just really works. I don't know. It just has something about it that I quite like. But yeah. Okay, right. Yes, I think we'll do the old Easter egg now. Why not? Keeps going to Easter egg, cream egg. Yeah, double decker. I'll be told. But have you never had a double decker? Have you seen? I think I did review them ages ago. And you do like mini ones in a bag called Dinky Deckers. Or you can turn it upside down. It's the Decker Double as well, because it's basically the top half. I think is it's fluffy nougat on the top, and the bottom half is like a crunchy biscuit, sort of like a Rice Krispie biscuit, sort of mixed with it's chocolate, I think. So it's quite interesting. But I say if you turn it upside down, it's a different bar again. Interesting, yeah. Yes. Snickers is a bit chunky. I quite like Kit Kat chunky peanut butter as well, actually. That's another one that's very nice. That might be on the list as well. One of those 3 bars, depending on what I think of. But I think a Snickers just gives you a bit more substance to it. Just out of curiosity, do all these chain groceries like Lidl and Aldi? I don't think so, no. I don't think they do. I don't believe so. Lidl and Aldi are a bit different. They're a bit more, they're sort of German-based ones as far as I know, but I don't think they're owned by the same people, no. Asda are owned, well, they were owned by Walmart. I'm not sure if they are anymore. But yeah, yeah, they're not actually, no, so they're all separate. Yeah, they're all separate. And generally, some of them have bought each other merged. I think there used to be one called Safeway, and it merged with Morrison's not long ago. But that's about it really. Yeah, they're all different. Yeah, there was talks I think of some of them joining up, but they didn't in the end. I think they were banned because it wouldn't be found too strong a competition or whatever. They have quite strict monopoly laws and stuff in the UK or whatever they're called. Yeah, so yeah. Right, so what do we think? Can we win this time? What do you reckon? There's only 168 I think in the country winning eggs, and there's hundreds of thousands of eggs. 2 vegetarians, by the way. I'm not going to eat this. Got the same date as Andrew always says, 31st to the 7th of the current year. That's when the date runs out. So quite clever, as I say, this time. So we'll try and get a drum roll going on. Can we do a drum? Let's see. Has it kept it as a... So I have to keep typing it out, I think. It's just a bit difficult to... Let's have a look. We'll get the old drum roll. Maybe need to do a sound effect, don't I, perhaps? Maybe that's what I need to do. Doing it in the wrong place. Let's have a look. There we go, yeah, drum. And that's there we go. There's a old drum roll. Oh dear, yes. Can't afford a real drum. So there we go. Yeah, not much in Korea. It's the spot chocolated. Found a Giardelli kept it in a posh department store. And you can spare a couple to send you. Ah, yes, kept us staring at them. Oh, you did well to, yeah. Well done, Rick, on not eating them. They are amazing, Giardelli. I do like them a lot, yeah. Oh, well done. Well, thank you so much. Very much appreciated that. But yeah, I guess as you say, it seems like, maybe all these shrimp crisps and things like that, maybe they're the things that they're a bit more interested in, perhaps. Yeah. Yes. Oh, dear. Right, in Canada, they recently got rid of the foil. Let me just move the screen a bit. And uses 2 plastic half covers. Ah, I see. Okay, interesting. Is that for the Giardelli stuff, is it? Or is this for these ones? It must be these are actually meaning. Yeah, interesting that, right? Interesting. I think they're just I think it's just the way they've always been here. So I think there'd be a bit of an outcry if they changed it. But all the mini eggs have this kind of look to them. It's all the sort of like, chocolate eggs rather, at this size. So there's different companies that do them, like Reese's do on Galaxy, Hershey. They all have a sort of like a wrapper like this. Yeah, the cream egg. Yeah, I think they're moving away from plastic as well. It seems there's a lot of other things that used to be in plastic and they're now changed back to something else, like paper-based ones. So surprising that they've gone that way. Maybe they'll turn back again. All right, so let's have a see. So let's have a look. Yes, let's try and get it open. Now, usually it's wrapped quite well, so you do open in the seam. So fingers crossed we will do. So yeah, drum roll. Well, you can see half, but you can see it has opened at the centre of one half. I think they're doing it on purpose. You see that's the design of the central bit, and they probably purposefully orientated them so it's the milk chocolate bit on that side as well. I would have thought. I could be wrong because obviously you need to know the winner. So what do you reckon? Have we won? We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Are we there? Is that past the seam? It looks like it's past the middle, doesn't it? Oh dear, I don't think we've won. No, I don't think we've won. I think that's fair to say that's not a winning egg. Oh dear. No, never mind. Well, we're probably not surprised. But even if we did win, we wouldn't win the £10,000, but we win like £10 or something. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Better luck in Stash Watch this week coming, I guess. Melted and damaged. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, true. I guess they've got to be imported and stuff like that. But yeah, you'd hope they'd be. I think the foil's more interesting, isn't it? Yeah, bring back lightly back to foil. Yeah, you would have thought so, because these days, like tins of beans and soup and things used to come in like a plastic sort of shrink wrap, but not quite, like coloured, the colour of the branding. But they've changed it to like a cardboard shenanigan now, which is not quite as good because they can break free from it, because it's not quite as tight. But it is there, so they've done things like that recently. So I'd be surprised if they keep with the plastic these days. Yeah, not today, Jan. Not today. I know. Such a shame, isn't it? Such a shame. Right, so the next lot we've got sort of Sainsbury's own brand chocolates now. So we've got to compare. We've got their sort of like very cheap sort of branded one, like Lovett's Milk Dark and White, basically. It's Sainsbury's, but they've branded them as Lovett's as their basic range. And then we've also got their regular sort of big chunky equivalents, basically. So thanks to Scotty for getting me the dark chocolate one. It wasn't available when I went in, so Scotty got me this one. So thank you for that, Scotty. Yeah, very much appreciated. Yeah, so we're just going to compare this. So review both of them, all of them, and compare them at the same time. So do the milk chocolate, then the white chocolate, and the dark chocolate, to see what the comparisons are and things like this. Yeah, interesting one. Would you have to pay taxes? Well, I don't know, Joe, but like you've said below, probably. Yes, two things certain in life. That's what it always says: death and taxes. So yeah, it's certainly not winning the Easter egg lottery or the cream egg lottery. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine you'd probably tax. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how these things work really. I don't know if you pay taxes on the winnings of something or not. You probably do, but I'm not sure. I know you obviously pay tax on the ticket because you've bought there's VAT on it. I don't know whether you pay tax on the winnings. I'm not sure. But if they can get tax out of you, then they'll make you pay it for sure. So I imagine they probably have done. Alright, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's zoom down a bit then. So we'll review both at once of each type of thing and compare them. I am on a diet at the moment. I'm not going to be just munching a whole bar like I normally would do, or a lot of it. So yeah, be extra careful. So I need to lose about 7 more pounds basically to get to my 11 stone, 154 pound target. Is the gist of it. So yeah, I think I must have gone to about 170. So I've lost about 10. I only weighed myself when I got to about 165 because I didn't want to weigh myself before then because I couldn't face it how much weight I'd put on. So I thought I'll just lose a bit first and then feel a bit better about it. Yeah, there we go. But I estimate that's how much I put on. So I felt like you can just tell sometimes, can't you? Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll start with the let's start with the dark chocolate, shall we? First, let's do the dark first. Yeah. So here we go. So you got the Lovitz versus the Sainsbury's official one. But it does say Sainsbury's on the back. If you look at it. Let's see, where does it say? Packed in Germany for Sainsbury's supermarket. There you go. It's got the Rainforest Alliance, which are basically the UTZ and Rainforest Alliance combined. So let's just use the Rainforest Alliance symbol now. There we go. What else have we got? Yes, stored in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. Typical price per 100 grams. 507 calories, 29.3 grams of fat, 17.6 of which are saturates. There we go. So we'll just there we are. Does it have quite low in ingredients? No palm for that. Cocoa size 44% minimum. Let's compare it to this one then, shall we? If we can. See if we can get them side by side. Cool dry place. So per 100 grams for the regular one, 553 calories. So that's a lot more. So it's 507 for the other one. Just trying to get it to focus in. For some reason it's not doing. Yeah, 29.3 grams of fat, and there's 34.8 on the bigger one. 21.4 of which are saturates. 17.6 of which are saturates. So the Lovitz one is a lot healthier for you, at least as far as that's concerned. And then per 3 pieces, 101 calories, 5.9 grams of fat, 3.5 which are saturates on the Lovitz. And then per 4 pieces per strip, 138 calories. Not quite the same this thing because the strip's different. 8.7 grams of fat, 5.4 which are saturates. Yeah, you might eat a strip at a time. So yeah, so the Lovitz one's definitely a bit more healthier. Less calories, less fat. 55% cocoa solids in the main one, 44. So it's definitely in the Lovitz one. So this one's basically a richer dark chocolate. 55 versus 44. But this one is a cheaper one. On a specific diet, not really, Joe. No, I'm just cutting down. I'm just not eating calories. I'm just concentrating on calories, basically. Yeah, so I'm not really, just try not to eat as much calories, basically, especially during the week. The weekend, obviously, I'm doing these reviews, but I'll be careful still. I'll just try to make sure I don't have too many, So, yeah, I just basically watch the calories, really. That's my main focus. And then you can do all sorts of clever things, but I've always sort of followed it more of a, literally, you can eat so many calories a day, so as long as you eat less, then you're fine. And I do take a vitamin supplement to make sure I get things like that. Yeah, I like when they manage to manufacture a product with few ingredients. Yes, it's nice that, isn't it? I do like that. I mean, what's the ingredients list on this one? There's a lot more in this one, isn't there, I think? It looks to be. I think it's just a bit quick. I think it's just because it actually has that Rainforest Alliance bit underneath it, actually. Yeah, so it's quite good. Cocoa mass, sugar. Oop. Yeah, certainly the same things, actually. Cocoa mass, sugar, cocoa butter. Yeah, the other one's got butter royal. Butter royal. Cow's milk, yeah. So Andrew's always complaining about Cadbury's having milk in their dark chocolate, but this one's got milk in it as well. Yeah, interesting that. There we go. I don't remember other chocolate having other dark chocolate having milk in it, but yeah, this one's definitely got it in. So that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, what you guys do? I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, Joe? I know lots of people swear by over diets and things, but yeah, I just find that as long as I, my body will will use so many calories a day, and as long as I put less in, then it should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Says the old Sainsbury's Basic brand. For Sainsbury's Basic brand, yeah. Twitch used to have little mottos on them. Love it, ain't fooling anyone. Yeah. What is it now then, Andrew? Has it changed? Yeah, because I got these about 2 or 3 months ago, I think. They've been in the backlog for some time. But this one, yeah, Andrew, yeah, if you're still about, this one's got milk in it as well. This dark chocolate. Yeah, cow's milk, butter oil. Interesting. Yeah, so there we go. If it'll focus in, it won't. I don't know why it's not focusing in there, but it's not. You can see it there, that milk in there, in bold. Yeah, so there we are. Interesting. When I select certified food, certified. Find out more about dark chocolate taste, customised 55% minimum. I don't know why it's not focusing in there. It's very strange that, but there we go. Doesn't want to. There's nothing else to focus in on, so I don't know. Focus. There we go. Yes, there we are. Yeah, but cow's milk. There we go. Interesting then. But this one doesn't. So there we go. This one doesn't. So this one is suitable presumably for vegans. Yeah, well, that's cocoa. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Does it say though on it? Doesn't specifically say. Don't know why that is. Does this one specifically say? This one does have a V on it. Vegetarian. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, well, this is it. Well, I don't know. Yeah, strange one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they would do it. Unless you think it improves the taste. That's all I can think of, really. I don't know. But it does seem a bit odd. It's not what I would call dark chocolate if it's got milk in. I must say, yeah, it doesn't feel right. If if it's dark chocolate, you don't feel like it should have milk in it. I mean, I don't know if it's. I know it might be a small amount or whatever, but clearly milk chocolate is milk chocolate because it's got milk in it. And you would expect by definition that dark chocolate doesn't have milk in it. I realise you might add it in for a little benefit, and it might taste nicer. But I still feel like, well, hang on, that's dark milk then, isn't it? Or whatever. It's not dark chocolate. It's I can't see the point of it myself. Yeah. No, I still love it. So it used to be saying, oh right, sorry, yeah, I see what you're saying. Sorry, yeah. I like the way they've changed it. The name. I think it's a bit of more of an interesting name. Notice it's got the heart on it as well. Actually, got the heart symbol there, which they also have translated. Well, on the C for whatever reason on here. So not on the O, but on the C. So they've even though it's not Love It, so not branded Love It. We've got some session with hearts. Okay, let's give it an open then. Let's give these an open. Yes. I was about to say on my spiel then. If you like this, if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and stuff like that. Just out of habit, Okay. Okay. So a bit of a funny line down the middle there. I don't know what that's about. Right. So I've got 44% cocoa solids versus 55. 44 in the smaller Love It one, even though the bigger one does contain milk. Yeah, I must say don't know, not sure what to make of that really. I just feel like if it's dark chocolate, it shouldn't really have milk in it because I don't know, it just seems a bit odd to me. If you want to make it sort of a bit less strong, then make it less, cocoa, or cocoa sauce, whatever that's in it. Where got the term is now. Yeah, cocoa solids, less percentage or whatever. All right. Okay. That's what they smell like. See the bigger one does seem to have a bit of a stronger smell to it. See the difference here, of course. You can see a slight difference in the coloration there. And to see if I can. And the Love It's one does look a bit darker, really. Only slightly, but I think you can see, can't you, that it's got a slightly darker look to it. See if I can try and compare it a bit better. Very, very minimal. And on this side, it doesn't look much different actually. You could almost argue that the Lovett's one looks a bit lighter there, so I don't know. But on the front, I think the Lovett's looks a bit darker, but it could just be because of the way that the shape of the bigger one has just meant that it looks a bit lighter because of the way it reflects the light or something. So I don't know. Yeah, they certainly don't look massively different, even though one's 55, one's 44. I think for me, cocoa soys generally, I think in the 50s is the highest I prefer. I think when you get 60 plus, I'm not as big a fan of them. But yeah, so there we go. Bit too dry for me when you get that finished. I think the connoisseurs say it should be 70 plus to have proper dark chocolate, but for me that's just too. It's too dry at that point for me. Okay, let's give them a quick measure then. I think, shall we? Can we do it with the? Can just about do this one actually with the calipers. Just about. Just by the first time. Although I can't now close it. Let's just do it this way. About 15.3, 15.4 centimetres there. I mean, they're not apples with apples, these ones, not really comparing like for like. We're just measuring it for their own benefit. The width 7.2, 7.3. And the height, that's about 8 millimetres. A bit melty these ones, so I'm a bit worried about the milk chocolate one's going to be quite melty. And height in between the segments, about 5.4. Of course, height at the top, the length at the top is a bit not quite as wide, about 15 there. So lost a bit of width, a couple of millimeters, about half a centimeter almost. Yeah. Old school design, yes, yeah. Yeah, I like these old school designs. I like them actually. I'm with you, Joe. I do quite like. I like nice novel designs, but sometimes I think the newer ones can just look a bit rubbish. I like the ones where it's no nonsense. You know, especially with dark chocolate as well. I think it just gives it a bit of an 80s look. I think dark chocolate by definition kind of feels a bit 80s like to me. Don't know why that is, but it just does. Yeah. So width. So we did width for the bottom. We'll just do width for the top again, just to be complete. And it's not very accurate really, so probably not really width, but 7 millimeters. Press the bottom about 7.3. Okay, let's measure this one. I need to use the old measuring stick for this one because it's a bit too long. You can clearly see this one, you are getting more, about 19 centimeters, maybe 19.2 actually. But at the top, from the edge of the middle segment to the edge of the other one, about 18.5. So you've lost about 7 millimeters there. Okay, we'll use the calipers for the rest of it. And the width, 9 centimeters, 9.5. At the top, roughly, very rough, 8.2. So you lost, because of let's say from the edge to edge of these top bits, lost quite a bit there. And the height, at 1.1, 1.1 on, yep. And height there, 8 millimeters, 9 millimeters in between the segments. Okay, see, it's getting a bit chocolate on my hands here. I guess give them a wash in a minute. Did we do the width as well? Definitely we did, but we'll do it again. We might have done, I'm not sure. Not very accurate, but about 3.2 centimeters from the top of it, but at the bottom, about 3.6. Right, let's give these a taste then, yeah. Give these a taste. Just give our hands a bit of a wash. Luckily I do have a cloth to hand. A bit worried about the milk chocolate one, as I said, it's going to be melting all over the place, so very difficult to handle. Yeah, you like them too, right from the 80s. Yeah, I do quite like that, yeah. I feel like any new designs haven't quite... I don't know, some of them work quite well. I think they're ones where it's just got an actual design on them rather than them redesigning the segments. I feel like the sort of like the bubble segments and things that they tried in the late 90s, or maybe the noughties really. They just weren't very good. They just didn't do a good job of those, I don't think. Yeah. So, yes. I think I do prefer those 80s ones. I think like the ones where they've designed the full bar to look like something now, which I think is a bit more interesting. Yeah. Okay, I'll just adjust the brightness. Give it a go. Right, so we'll taste both of these. Just do about a segment or two of each one. As I say, I'm trying not to eat too much chocolate. So normally I would have just ate like mad, but there we go. All right, we'll try the Lovers first. This is 44%. A bit more healthy for you, I guess. Doesn't contain milk. Let's give it a go. A nice dark chocolate, that one. It's not very strong. It's not very rich, of course, but it's a nice one, really. And I think, you know, clearly doesn't taste massively rich and hasn't had the need to add milk to it to to bring any sort of like less richer flavour out, which I can only assume is a reason for adding it to this one. Quite nice, that. Quite, I mean, not too, you know, quite an average dark chocolate taste. It's not sort of got anything too dramatic in it, but it's a nice dark chocolate. But I feel like it could be stronger, really. I feel like it's perhaps a bit too weak for me for dark chocolate, maybe. But so let's see if this one improves on it. Let's have a look, because it's 55 this one, so let's have a go. This one tastes a bit softer to an extent. Interesting. I don't feel there's much in that, really. Even though the other one's 55%, it doesn't really come across as a stronger dark chocolate, as a richer taste at all. Really doesn't. Odd, that. Odd. Just try a bit of the Lovers again, just a little bit. Lovers has a bit of a sort of a slightly rich taste to it. Let's just try. It's a bit of the old, you know, just chop it a bit in half. There we go. This is the regular bigger one again. I definitely feel like the bigger bar has a bit of a softness to it. It feels like a softer bar. I don't know why that is. You know, maybe it could be the milk thing. I'm not sure, but it feels softer. You know, like the other one's a bit more crisp. I feel like I actually probably prefer the Lovers one. I think, you know, I think this one's nicer. I just think it's not massively rich, but it just tastes a bit more dark chocolatey than this one. Now, you know, it's one of those where I'm a bit worried it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, where I've seen the fact it's got milk in it and then just, you know, it's in my brain, but I don't think so. I think this one is just a nicer taste. I think this one, I say, just seems a bit softer to eat. So it's not got that sort of crisp bite to it, which I quite like from a dark chocolate. You know, it just tastes a bit too. I don't know. It just tastes. It's quite similar to this one, but just not quite as good. I don't feel like I'm tasting a richer dark chocolate. And I feel like I'm getting more of a rich taste from this one. So even though they've got these, even though that's 55%, which I would expect to taste a noticeable difference. This one's 44. I actually think this one tastes more dark chocolatey. Yeah, I mean, it's a nicer one, really. And I feel that's the thing with the dark chocolates as well, because I feel like because there's not many ingredients to dark chocolate. Generally, so a cheaper one, it's more about the only difference would probably be the cocoa solids, I would imagine. I mean, there might be a quality to them that's elsewhere that I don't know about. You know, it could be that one's different than another, and 44% of one type of chocolate is not 44% of another one. It's all these kind of differences. But these ones are kind of, you know, these aren't sort of Peruvian or Colombian or Guatemalan or whatever. They're all, you know, it's just labelled as dark chocolate. So I don't think they're really. It's not about the sort of where they've got the cocoa from, if you know what I mean. They could have sourced it from different places. Most likely they're from the same place. Probably, I don't know, probably Merseyside or something. But yeah, it's one of those. I think for me, it's a bit sort of, I don't know. That's not really coming to it. I don't think is what I'm trying to say. And it's just more about the fact that just the pure sort of cocoa solid amount. And but even then, I think that I can only assume it's the milk inclusion in the bigger one that's that's made it not quite the same bar. I don't know how much milk they put in, it doesn't say, but you would imagine that can only be it, because the other one's a weaker cocoa solid amount or less percentage. but it tastes richer, has a nicer bite to it. So yeah, so I think for me then, I think the sort of the regular one, well, not the regular one, the regular Sainsbury's one, whatever you want to call it, this one here, dark chocolate by Sainsbury's. It's not bad or anything. Let's just see. So hmm. Hmm. It's all right. I think it's probably 2.5 out of 5. That one. It's not. I wouldn't call that an average dark chocolate. I think that's probably below average, really, for me. I say my dark chocolate tastes might have changed over the years as well. So it's a difficult one. Used to really love Bourneville and things. I haven't got Bourneville side by side with this one. And Bourneville recipes changed as well, which I still need to review. Actually, I do have an old versus new for that coming up hopefully at some point. Yeah, it's just not. I would say an average dark chocolate is one that I think I would like to have again, and I don't think I'm particularly bothered by this dark chocolate. So I can't really give it an average score. I don't think it's that great. It's not. It's just not an interesting one. It doesn't taste of a real dark chocolate, but it doesn't really taste of like say a dark milk or anything like that. It's just there's nothing really to it that's that interesting. So I could even give it a 2 out of 5, but I think that might be a bit too harsh. But it probably is. It's more a 2 than a 3 anyway. So yeah. Not too great, that one, I don't think. Whereas the Lovett's one, I think that definitely does come across as a dark chocolate. Yeah, for sure. Even though it's a weaker percentage, but... It's just got a richer taste, as it's the same when you bite into it, but after you've chewed it for a bit, and obviously, things start to go into motion, it just have a better taste. Yeah. I mean, it's relatively average, though. I don't think it's going to blow your socks off or anything. Maybe a 3.5. I think I gave the other one the benefit of the doubt by half a star, so I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's just a nicer chocolate, and I think it's cheaper as well, by probably. I assume so. Just better. Yeah, it's just nicer than the other one. It's a better dark chocolate and a better experience. Yeah, the other one just isn't as good. And that could be like what Andrew was perhaps alluding to before about just not being this. Well, I don't know if he said this actually, but at least with the in the fact of Bourneville's case, just wasn't really the same for no reason. Yeah, and I can't see the benefit at all of adding milk to this other one. It's certainly not improved it from what I can tell, and it's made it worse, if any. Because I can only assume that's what it is that's made it worse, because there's nothing else in there that could have done it. So yeah, so. Not good, really. I don't know. As I say, I can't understand the point of it, and presumably it's more expensive bar, but it's a bigger bar though, so that might be one reason why it's more expensive. So it might not be down to the quality that's made it bigger and more expensive. I don't know. It might be not quite so simple. So yeah, interesting one. That one, a surprising one. I think I wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah, so there we go. I'm just wiping the plate down. Got loads of dark chocolate everywhere. So we'll try the white chocolate one now. Should be quite well. In fact. Yeah, let's try the white chocolate one. I was going to say the milk chocolate one, but that's probably going to be the messiest, so I'll save that till last. Because if it does make a mess, then it's easy for me. I don't have to worry about it as much. Okay, right. Okay. I've got the bars here. I thought I had, but they've disappeared. Where've they gone? Oh, there you go. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so I'll do the white chocolate one next. So same again, Lovett's versus regular Sainsbury's. So, another interesting one here. So, let's say very distinctive look to them this time. They do look completely different. I mean, the Lovett's is always red, I guess, but yeah. So you see they've got the same sort of similar anyway, sort of metallic blue to this one. The other one was a bit of a metallic red actually. The white chocolate by Sainsbury's. Lovett's family favourites, white chocolate. So there we go. So again, they're going to be exactly the same as far as the look and feel to them are, I guess. Let's have a look what we've got on the back. So. See if we can compare them at the same time, roughly. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. So typical values per 100 grams. So we've got the main one, the big one at the top, 572 calories, so well above the 500 to 550 that most chocolates do have. 552 on the Lovett's, so less calories. Still quite high though, still over the 500 to 550 threshold that most chocolate has. But fat, 36.3 grams of fat in the top one, in the big one. But the Lovett's is less, 31.9. So it seems to be slightly better for you, if you can call it that. 22.2 which are saturates in the top one, 19.4 which are saturates in the Lovett's. So that's interesting. So it's definitely a bit more healthy for you. Or not as unhealthy for you. The Lovett's one. So per 4 pieces, 143 calories, 9.1 grams of fat, 5.5 which are saturates. That's one strip, I assume, and then 110 calories in the Lovett, 6.4 grams of fat, 3.9 which are saturates. But it's not really apples for apples, that one, because it's the rows are different sizes. And ingredients, let's see. Got whole cow's milk in the top one, whole cow's milk in the bottom one in Lovett's. Got whey powder, got cream powder in the top one. Maybe is the cream the bit they separate from the from the whey? So they basically took the one part of it, put it in the top one, and the other part put it in the bottom one. And it does say whey powder in the bottom one as well, in the top one as well. Okay. Butterfat. It's got butterfat in the bottom one. There's cow's milk, vanilla extract in both. There's slight differences there, isn't there? But I don't know, can't quite see a proper difference. I say the Lovett's does say butterfat specifically. It doesn't say that in the top one, so Alright, so there are obviously differences. There are different nutrition based per 100 grams, so they must be different. So let's give them an open then, and let's see. I'm not going to measure them again, to be honest with you, because it's going to be the exact same measurements as the other ones, with the same bars and everything. So I'm not going to measure them again. I know it should be comprehensive with that, but I think there's no point because it's going to be exactly the same. We're just sort of saying the same thing. So, so if you do want to know the measurements, you just have to go back to the dark chocolate one for that. Okay, just change the brightness a bit. I feel like I should do it really for completeness, but it's clearly going to be the same. I think I'm just, I don't think it'll be to anyone's interest to do it all again. Especially when, yes. I don't know, what do you think? Should I do it again? I don't know. I feel like, being a bit lazy there, but I just feel like it's going to clearly be the same measurements. So why, it's the same. They're all the same shape and the same weight. Yeah. So I don't know. Okay, let's give them an open. Right, so there we go. The white chocolate one often can be quite difficult to get right. I feel like Nestle white chocolate is probably, as in the Milky Bar range, is probably the nicest, but they can do other things. And I think that Panda Finnish company did a really nice white chocolate as well, which I think was pretty much comparable. I'm expecting there to be a difference in this one, but whether they're both good, I don't know. You must say it's good to see a healthy version in the market. Down here, the healthier chocolate is higher price. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm assuming this is the cheaper one. Anyway, this was the basics range, as Andrew said. I mean, the thing is, it's a smaller bar, so it could be that the price per 100 grams, it does end up being more expensive. I'm not too sure. But there we go. But yeah, it's going to be the same side. I'm not going to measure it all again. I don't think it's going to be worth doing really, but I just need to cough a bit. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Should I even measure it again? It seems like it's perhaps a bit going too far. Yeah, I think it's usually the case here, I would have said as well, Joe, but interesting in this case. I think it's just because it's a basics range, so even so. But there you go. Look very nice, both of these, don't they? Let's lift them both up a bit. Look a bit more yellow in hand than they do on the screen at the moment. There's definitely a bit more of a yellowness to them. Isn't quite coming across there. Maybe if I move it down a bit, it might go a bit yellower. Yeah, as I wish. Yeah, yeah. I always a bit unsure. Really. Let's do it quickly then. We'll just do a quick measurement. Then we won't labour the point, but we'll just do it very quickly, just to be completist. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's about on the height at the top is from 18.5, 18. In fact, no. So I'll do it again. 18.2 roughly. And then, yeah, and 19.2, maybe 19.3 actually. So maybe it's about a millimetre longer actually, this one. And the width of the bottom, about 9 centimetres. We'll just do it with the measuring stick, it's a bit quicker. And about 8 centimetres down the top. Yeah, we'll just do we'll do the height with the calipers, why not? It's a bit easier with the calipers, do the height. About 0.5 centimetres in height there, in between. About 0.3. There we go. Yeah, they do look very nice. They do look very nice indeed, yes. very much, yeah, very excited about these ones. They look very lovely. Yeah, yeah, look very nice indeed. And then for this one, about 15.4. And the width, 7.4, 7.5. There we go, yeah. The width on top, about 6.9, maybe about 7. Width on top on this one, length on top, about 14.8, 14.9, I think. I'll just do the old height with the calipers. About 0.3, about 0.2. There we go. All right, yes. Okay, yeah, look very interesting. These ones look very interesting indeed. I think it's a bit more. I think they're a bit yellowy in hand than they are on the screen. Maybe it could depend on your brightness, though. I guess, can't it? So it's difficult to say. All right, let's break a square off of each. Let's see. Okay, let's lift myself up. Give these a taste. Look very nice, these ones. Hopefully they're a nice white chocolate. White chocolate's a bit of a funny one. Can generally be for me whether it makes me feel a bit of a sort of catches in my throat a bit really. Can generally be the sort of, you know, be all and end all of it really. So it's just whether it's a bit soft on the easy on the throat, I guess you'd say. All right, let's taste the Lovets then. With a bigger square. Let's give it a go. Quite not quite smooth white chocolate actually. Quite creamy, that one. Quite nice white chocolate. White chocolate view is always great. For me, sometimes it can catch in my throat a bit. It tastes nice, that one. Yes. Well, I think you like this one. It's definitely a nice one, Joe. It's a nice white chocolate Lovets one. Quite smooth, I think you'd say. It's not massive. Quite nice smooth white chocolate, that. Let's try the regular one. Let's have a see. This one tastes a bit more. Again, I don't know if it's sort of like the segment shape or something, but it tastes a lot more creamier. Again, this one a bit more soft. Interesting. It's always a difficult one to rate white chocolate for me because they're quite they're quite sort of very subtle differences, but they make big differences, if that makes sense. Both quite interesting. Both quite different, actually. Both quite different. I'll just try segments again of each. I'll try about half of it, actually. The Lovets one, a lot more subtle. Possibly a lot more normal. Let's try this one again. The other one's the main Sainsbury one's definitely got more of a white chocolate taste. Interesting one. They're quite similar. But I think the Sainsbury's one, the main one, not the Lovets one, has a bit more of a softer taste to it overall, and it feels like a softer experience. Yeah, I do catch in the throat sometimes. Yeah, funny one, isn't it? That with white chocolate, funny one. I feel like I feel like it's just, I don't know what it is. These ones are slightly not too bad. I mean, I've only had a bit of them though. Slightly catching for a bit, but I don't know which one it is. Of course, doing it at the same time, but not really doing it. You know. I feel like the main Sainsbury's one just has a bit more of a buttery creaminess to it. It's a bit softer, and it has a bit more of a typical white chocolate taste to it, which is a bit more, slightly more catchy in the throat. It's slightly more sort of stronger white chocolate. But the Lovets one's a bit more subtle, but less strong. So it swings and roundabouts basically. Yeah, I don't know. They're both quite nice. I mean, I'm trying to think though. The problem I've got is I really quite highly rate Nestle Milky Bar and things like this, but I haven't got one to hand, so it's difficult to compare it to. I feel like that one's got a bit more of a stronger white chocolate taste to it. Again, I think that's a bit more white chocolatey, but I don't think these are too bad really. This is a Sainsbury's one. Let's try the Lovet's one again. They're both quite nice in their own way, but I think the Lovet's one's a bit blander, just. The Sainsbury's one just has a slight more of a interesting taste to it. It's a bit more buttery, a bit thicker, a bit creamy. I don't know. It's just something a bit more. There's a bit more substance to it. Now, it could just be the shape of the cubes, the segments. I'm not sure. I don't think it is, to be honest with you. But I am aware of the fact that it did feel a bit similar in the dark chocolate one as well. I wouldn't have thought it would be though, but it could be. Yeah, interesting one. These ones, I'm not sure. They're not massively different. Basically, I certainly think the regular Sainsbury's one's a better one. I think it's just a bit more interesting. It's a bit more. It's just a bit softer, and I think that works a bit better in white chocolate. The Lovet's one, it could just be the shape of the bar really, and I say that could apply back to the dark chocolate ones. But I think the dark chocolate one definitely worked. It did have a bit of more of a firmer taste. The Lovet's one just tastes a bit better, whereas the main Sainsbury's one just tastes a bit. It was a bit too sort of not dark chocolatey like in the other one, but in this one, as I say, I think it works better. It just gives it a bit more of a creamier taste. I think they're quite nice. I think they're both quite nice. I think the Lovet's one. Yeah, I don't know really. I'm a bit worried about my white chocolate ratings. I don't know whether I've overrated them in the past or not really. Because obviously I was rating them as a white chocolate as much as anything. I think for me the Lovet's one is pretty nice. I think it's probably a 3 out of 5. The Lovet's one, I think it's pretty. It's I don't know. In fact, I'm going to say 3.5. I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5 for the Lovet's one. I think it's 3.5. Just wondering if 3's a bit too low. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to say 3. A 3 out of 5, but it's almost a 3.5. I think 3.5 though is just a bit too much for it. I think it's a nice white chocolate though. I just think it's probably a bit too subtle and not quite creamy enough. And it could just be down to the shape of the segments, I don't know. But there definitely seems to be a bit more of a creaminess to the Sainsbury's one, and I think for me that one, I don't think it's quite a 4, but it could be a 4. 3.5 a 4, 3.5 a 4. I'm going to go for the benefit of that. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think. Yeah, I think it's a nice white chocolate. That I liked it. I think I definitely liked it. Difficult one. I'm a bit worried to whether I've overrated white chocolates in the past. Some of the best ones and things. But I don't think it's better than the Milky Bar one anyway. But I think it's nice. It doesn't stick out in my throat. It's one of those where if I reviewed Milky Bar again, I don't know whether I've given it a 5 out of 5 in the past. I'm a bit worried I overrated it because I was just saying, well, it's the best white chocolate I've tasted, and I give the Panda one 5 out of 5 as well. So I'm a bit, I don't know, but at the time it felt right. So it's a hard one to say without that benchmark next to me to taste them at the same time. It's hard. I'm a bit worried. I just think, well, hang on, is this one that much worse? But it didn't catch in the throat. It tasted nice, full and creamy. It had a nice white chocolate taste. It wasn't, as I say, it was relatively subtle, but I think that worked because it, as I say, wasn't catching in the throat. I think it was a very nice one. So it ticked all the boxes for a good white chocolate for me, which is why I'm thinking, well, hang on a sec, is a Milky Bar that much better? That's what I'm worried about, and also the Panda one. But yeah, either way, 4 out of 5 is still a good score, well above average. A nice white chocolate that. Yeah, hi Derek. Yeah, Sainsbury's a big suit. Yes, it is. Yes, it's one of the big. Basically, I think Tesco's might be the biggest. Yeah, no, it's either Sainsbury's or Asda. Asda used. I don't know if they're still owned by Walmart. I think they've been bought. I think they've sold. Walmart has sold it. But yeah, I think Asda and Sainsbury's are probably number 2 and 3, and then I think Morrison's is number 4. I think in the UK. I think. Yeah. So it is quite a big one. It's a bit more posher than the other ones. It's not a massively posh one, but it's a bit more. It's known to be a bit posher than the other ones. They sell a lot more. They seem to have a lot more sort of, posh chocolates. Not massively posh, but a bit more of a sort of, like vegan, more, well, nowadays it's a bit more common to see vegan ones in regular supermarkets, but they had vegan ones for quite some time, and independent chocolates and stuff like that. Yeah. So yes. But yeah, yes, there we go. But having said all that, there is I think in Manchester on one of the main central roads where it's just full of students. There is a Sainsbury's there, and obviously students go there quite a lot. So you think it'd be cheaper for that reason, but there we go. Yeah, but maybe they sell a different range of products there. Right. Well, the last couple then we're going to compare the milk chocolate ones this time. So there we go. So we've got the same sort of thing going on again. Obviously a bit of a dark chocolate wrapper this time. Still got that sort of blue look to it. I think it's quite similar to the one here actually. You know, not, obviously it goes a bit lighter at the top. But yeah, roughly the same. Yeah, roughly the same. So interesting. Yeah, there we go. But this one obviously doesn't have the lightness. Has a bit of a swirl at the back, but not too bad. Yeah, whereas the other one, as I say, it's hard for me to hold it without them all falling out. But yeah, it's light at the top. Whereas this one's just the same. There we go. But yeah, similar. All right. So yeah. Whereas Lumps, of course, this has the red branding all the time. You know, which is a bit of a shame. But there we go. So this one could be an interesting one. Again, I think this is probably going to be down to the fact that the main one's probably going to have a bit more of a milky taste to it, which is important in milk chocolate. But sometimes milk chocolate can have too much of a milky taste. So Tesco products are in some stores here, surprisingly, in a single aisle. All right, so they just sell them in other stores, do they? That's interesting. I know it's Tesco tried to branch out into the States. I don't know about Canada. Oh, well, that's why you've been in Korea now, aren't you? Oh, interesting that, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, surprising that. It's surprising that, yes. Okay, so this is going to be difficult because it's going to probably melt a bit with me holding this, being milk chocolate, but we'll see how we get on. Alright, so let's try and compare these ones. Yeah, right, so the top one, 8 servings, 100 grams, 546 calories, that's the top one. And the one at the bottom, 524. So the top one, the bottom one's bang in the middle, I love it. It's 500 to 550, the typical chocolate bars tend to have. The top one's more on the top end, 546. That I've experienced anyway. Fat, 32.9 grams of fat in the top one, 28 grams of fat in the bottom one. Saturates 19.9, of which the saturates 19.9 in the top one. There's 17.1 in the bottom one though. So yeah, the top one again, less calories, less fat. And then per 4 pieces, 137 in the top one, and per row 105 in the bottom, but it's a smaller bar, so it's not really apples with apples, this one. 8.2 grams of fat in the top one, 5.6 in the bottom, of which saturates 5 in the top, 3.4 in the bottom. So again, the Lovett's one, just better for you, but it is half the size. So yeah, I think it's a bit cheaper, but again, half the size. So what's the cocoa size? Milk chocolate contains cocoa size 32 in the top, 31 in the top, 27 in the bottom. And then the milk size 20% minimum in the top one, 14% minimum in the bottom. So it probably might be less of a milky one in the bottom one, not as much, not as strong a chocolate taste either. So you know, I think the milk can take away from the chocolate. So the fact it's got cocoa size 31% minimum, but then more milk solids, means it's probably going to be more of a creamier chocolate. So even though for my basic, I don't know, might be completely wrong this logic, but let's say the cocoa size 27% minimum, not quite as strong a chocolate taste. But then there's less milk solids in it, so it might work itself out to actually be pretty much the same. That's the way I'm sort of working it out. Anyway, I don't know if that's true, but there we go. So it's got whole cow's milk in the top. Bottom one's got butter fat. Just say skimmed. Yeah, it's got skimmed cow's milk in the bottom one, rather than whole milk. So it's definitely going to be less creamy. Which I would say would suit me better. I don't like milk chocolate to be too creamy. I'm still trying to work out the milk solids. I'm not a big fan of what I would like better. Things like this, but I've not worked it out yet because I've not really been looking for that long. I should have been, but haven't. So basically, it looks like the top one's got whole cow's milk in, the bottom one's got skimmed cow's milk. And other than that, they look roughly very similar. It's difficult because they're ordered differently. Without doing some kind of Excel spreadsheet, I probably couldn't really work it out. But there we go. But neither of them got palm oil in, so that's quite good. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we are. Okay, so that's this one says suitable vegetarians. Whereas the other one doesn't really mention. Oh, yes, it does actually. It does mention it on the front. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. These bars are in Sainsbury. In Sainsbury. Honestly. Oh dear me. I'm not sure what to make of that, Rick, but yes. Oh, right, let's have a see. So I'll tell you what, but yes, yeah, the Sainsbury's ones, even though the Lovett's one isn't sort of labelled Sainsbury's, it is the Sainsbury's bar, it says at the bottom. Packed in Germany for Sainsbury's. So they tend to be made in Germany, these own brand ones, but I think the Morrison's ones were the exceptions to that. I don't think they were. I can't remember where they were made. So the Morrison's ones seem to be different again, and maybe one of the other brands, but I can't think. All the others seem to be from Germany, basically. Right, so let's give these an open. We'll give them a quick measure again, but it's going to be the same as the other ones, but you know, we may as well do it now. So what I'm expecting here is a mixed bag again. I'm expecting the bigger one to just taste creamier, basically. But it might be detrimental to the chocolate taste. It might just be too creamy. Yeah, I don't know. It's an odd one. I'm not sure what to make of it because it's creamier, but got well, it's more chocolate in the big one, the regular Sainsbury's one, but there's more milk in it, and it's whole milk as well. Whereas the Lovett's got less chocolate in it, but it's less milky basically, less creamy. So it could be. It's going to be an interesting one. I've got to open this as well. I'm trying to be careful with it because I send the wrappers off to someone who collects them, so I'm trying not to rip them when I can possibly avoid it. But it can be quite difficult because they obviously don't want to open very easily. I can't open this one at all. No, maybe I should just rip it open. Okay, I'm nearly there. There we go. Alright, there we go. Okay. Right. Okay, let's have a quick smell of them actually. Just take a minute smell, I think that's quite important. If we can. Okay. Nothing special from that one. Yeah. But it smells nicer than this one. The Lovett's one doesn't smell overly great. It's not. You have to get quite close to smell it. But it's not really got much of a smell, and what you can smell of it's not amazing. This one's got a nicer smell, but again, it's quite subtle. You can't really. You have to get really close. It's not a massively great chocolate smell. It's just a smell that smells a bit like chocolate. Whereas this one here is just not really that great a smell, and you have to get really close, and you can't really smell it anyway. And it's, yeah. So this one wins the smell test anyway. Okay, so again, it's going to look the same. Let's have a look. We'll lift them both up. Have to be careful with these because they will melt. Again, they look roughly the same, don't they? I mean, the one on the Lovett's one is smaller, but I can't. Maybe the Sainsbury's one's a bit lighter. You can see there, but again, could be a trick of the light or whatever, based on the fact it's the squares are different. But it does look a bit lighter, the one on the right, as you look. Which is what I'd expect. It's meant to be creamier. I mean, there it definitely looks lighter, doesn't it? On that side view there, but again, could be a trick of the light. It does look lighter though, overall. The Lovett's one looks a bit darker, which to me is a good sign for the Lovett's actually. I think that means, for me, it would taste nicer. If I had to choose the two, and just based on the colour, I would go for the one that's a bit darker. Generally, but no, this doesn't mean anything really. But just because I just worry that sometimes they'll taste a bit too creamy. Dairy milk though always tastes quite nice to me in Galaxy, so I know what they taste like, and the lightness doesn't matter to me there. But just from if I had to look at some random own brand product, I'd be a bit worried that it would taste a bit too creamy. So I would be more likely to look out for ones that are a bit darker. All right, so let's give it a bit of a measurement. We'll give them both a measure. So let's see. As I say, they'll be same as the other ones, but we'll go for it for completeness. But 9.2, yeah, about the same. Maybe 9.3 if you move it slightly. But the width at the top, getting quite rough. About 18 and 18.3 again. Yeah, roughly the same. 18.2, 18.3. Yes, and the width at the top, about 8 centimeters. Width at the bottom, about 9. So it's about a centimetre there. Yeah, quite a lot. But yeah, it is 8 centimetres. I don't know if I've said the same thing in the past, but it is about 8 centimetres actually. Sometimes difficult because it catches the light in a funny way, but 8 centimetres there. Yes, and then we'll do the height. So just check it's on 0. Yes, it is. Try to be careful not to melt it in my hands. About 0.4, 5.5 centimetres in height. In between, about 0.3. There's a slight lip as well. You can see there on the edges as well. It doesn't go straight to the edge of the segments. There we are. Okay. Let's put that one down a bit. I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. That's me. That's me. Sneeze again. Sorry about that. Right, and then okay. Let's measure this one then. Kind of do it with the calipers. We'll do it with the calipers all the way. This one. In fact, I think it might be more accurate measuring the top part with the ruler actually. It's about 15.3 length. The bottom. And that's about 14.8, just over. Maybe 14.9 actually. Okay, and the width. 7.2. And the top. About 6.9. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do the height with the calipers. 0.3. And in between, 0.2. Right, so let's give these a taste then. Let's lift myself up. Look very interesting, these ones. I'm quite interested in this one. I think this is one where the little subtle differences will make a big difference, I think. Like I was saying, the cream, the milk cream sort of filling, things like this. But did I change the brand? I don't think I did actually. Let's just check. Okay, no I didn't. Okay, right. Okay, so let's have a see then. Let's move the measuring stick. So we'll get a segment. We'll try the Sainsbury's one first, the regular one. Let's give this a go. Yeah, let's give this a try. Let's do it. Yeah, it's got that. It's quite nice actually, but it does have that sort of creamy taste to it. But not bad actually. I feel like it's not too bad. I feel like it's not too creamy. I mean, it's one of those where it's a nice chocolate actually. I just don't think it's as good as something like dairy milk or something like that, but it's actually quite nice. Let's try to love it then. Let's give this a go. Yeah. Lover's one's not bad. But it's not as good. It's just less. There's just less about it. I think the regular Sainsbury's milk chocolate is actually quite nice. Yeah, I think it's actually quite a nice chocolate. This actually. I think definitely the sort of full fat milk, or whatever it is, the whole milk. I think that's definitely. It just seems to have made a difference, really. And you could say, you could argue that the fact that the one had less milky less milk solids but less chocolate, and this one's got more milk solids but more chocolate, and it kind of balance, and it kind of would work out to be the same almost, cancel each other out. The sort of like the positives from one, the more milk in the other one would have been, the more chocolate in the Sainsbury's one would have been cancelled out by the more milk content. So the fact that the other one had less milk but also had less chocolate in, less milk solids or cocoa solids, would have meant it would have averaged out roughly to be the same. But I do think, the Sainsbury's one just seems to just be slightly nicer. It's just a more. It's just a nicer milk chocolate. It's not too creamy or whatever. It's just a nice solid milk chocolate. Yeah, I like it. I mean, the Lovett's one is still nice actually. It's not dry. It's not too. It's just not quite as. I'd say more milky, rather than creamy. It's just not. Because I'm not too keen on sort of too creamy a chocolate. It's just not quite as milky, and even though, as I say, the fact that the other one's got more chocolate but more milk, and this one's got less chocolate but less milk, you might think they might work out the same. But I think this one just doesn't taste quite as I say, milky. It's not quite as a milky chocolate. But it's still nice. It doesn't taste cheap. It does have a bit of a. There's a bit of a more of a. It does have a bit more of a. What I would describe as a more milky, creamy taste to it. To be honest with you, but don't know. It's got some kind of taste to it anyway, which I would have described as that, but maybe it's not. But that's what I would have described it as. It doesn't taste cheap. It doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like a cheap chocolate. I mean, when you sort of have Advent calendar chocolate, what used to be called Advent calendar chocolate back in the day, I don't know what you call it now. That's what used to refer to cheap chocolate as. Can't really do that anymore because it usually is branded chocolate now and just proper sweets and things. But in the old days, where chocolate in Advent calendar used to just be just an unbranded chocolate, used to be that's what used to refer to as cheap chocolate. It doesn't taste like that. Not just one of these really cheap, sort of, unbranded type chocolates you get from a random place or whatever. It actually tastes not too bad. It's just not as good as the Sainsbury's one. The Sainsbury's one's a good chocolate. I don't think it's as good as Dairy Milk or anything like that. It's not really as good as Galaxy or anything, but it's not a million miles behind. It's actually reasonably nice. I think the Lovett's one. I don't know. What's the average of a chocolate? I mean, I don't know. Is it below average? Is it above average? It's not bad. It's probably 2.5 or 3 for the Lovett's one. I think it's a bit difficult one to say really. I'm tempted to say 3 out of 5, but I'm going to say a 2.5. I think it's just probably. I think milk chocolate. It's a nice milk chocolate. It's not bad. I just think probably the average milk chocolate is probably more towards the Sainsbury's one, basically, or maybe somewhere in between. The Sainsbury's one, I think I will give the benefit that I'll give it slightly higher, and I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a nice one actually. It's nice. It's just a bit more interesting. I mean, the Lovett's one could almost be a 3, but I think milk chocolate. I don't know. I think there's very fine lines there between in between the sort of Lovett's and the Sainsbury's one there. And I think it's and I don't think it would quite cut the mustard as an average milk chocolate. I don't think, even though they're very similar. There's not a massive difference, but I just feel the Lovett's is a bit too far behind to say it's an average one. Because I think it's just not quite. It's better than a lot out there, but it's not. I don't know if it just saying it's too good to say it's an average milk chocolate, because the average milk chocolate really should be very nice. And I think you could argue that the Sainsbury's one is more of an average one, but it's just. I don't know. I'd probably prefer it than a lot of branded chocolates out there. I might even prefer it than Milka, maybe. I'm not sure. Because I think for me it's just not. It's not quite as creamy. It's nice. So it could almost be a 4. It could almost be a 4. It's more towards a 4 than the 3, basically. I think. But it's just. I don't know. It's very fine lines with milk chocolate. I think. It's very fine lines between what's really good and not. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable giving it such a high rating, but it's definitely more of a 4 than a 3, I would say. Very nice. I enjoyed it. Being cheaper, I think he did actually, Joe. I could have been quite harsh on the Lovett's one as well, but as I say, I think being milk chocolate, the average milk chocolate is pretty good. I think you're going to struggle to find a very horrible milk chocolate. I think if you bought one, most of them would be pretty good unless it was a very cheap, poor chocolate. So I think the Lovett's one is more. It's almost a 3 really, and I probably could have said it's a 3. To be honest with you, it might have been a bit harsh, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of milk chocolate out there, and I think, and as I say, and I think there's very fine margins between them all. And I think if anything, this one's probably a bit worse than a lot of them out there. But I did think they fared well. I think these didn't taste cheap at all. They didn't taste cheap whatsoever, really. And maybe if I'd not had the Lovett's at the same time as the Sainsbury's one, I would have given it a 3. But I think knowing that the Sainsbury's one was just a bit better of a milk chocolate. But I think the Sainsbury's one was very nice. I had no problems with it at all. And as I say, on another day, I might have given it a 4. But I think there's so many milk chocolates out there. Even like a Cadbury's Dairy Milk, I'd probably be a 4, 4.5. I don't think it would be a 5. So to give the Sainsbury's one a 4, I think might be just a bit too much. So I think a 3.5 is probably about right. But I think that's still a great rating. As I say, I try to be quite strict on my ratings. And I say a 3 out of 5 is the average taste. An average chocolate, as everyone knows, is a nice experience. So that's why a 3.5 out of 5 is still a good rating, and a 4 is pretty good. To be an above average milk chocolate, I think is quite there we go. And I say nothing in it or anything like that. So an experience in general, above average experience. So I think 3.5 is a good score. And yeah, I was very happy with these ones. trying to remember the other ones really. I think the Asda one was quite nice. I think they're generally not too bad. I think the Aldi ones are a bit too creamy for me. I think the little ones, they're very more of a sort of, yeah, German sort of Swiss type interpretation of milk chocolate, milky type, a bit too milky for me. Whereas these ones, yeah, very nice. They are made in Germany though, so but I think they tend to add even more milk to those other ones, and I think that gets a bit too much. But having said all that, I could be misremembering there. But the sort of milk ones, I'm thinking of more of anything else. So yeah, no, I thought it was very nice. Very happy, very impressed with these. And there's definitely nothing wrong with the Lovett's one, but I think they were probably better, probably with the dark chocolate. I think for sure. The milk chocolate one, yeah. So the white chocolate one, I think, yeah, probably not. Yeah, I think the dark chocolate one was where they were best at, basically. But they were very close between them all, and I was very impressed with them. Yeah, nice chocolates those. I enjoyed them. Yeah. Trying to think what's the best one really. I know Andrew was mentioning he really loved the Asda one. I think I did like the Asda one as well. And the Morris, I think they're all quite nice in their own way. But as I say, some of them it's just down to their milkiness for me, the milk chocolate. I think. But generally, they've all been reasonably good. Yeah. And those were very nice, those ones. I definitely would not be averse to having them. And there's definitely nothing wrong with those. So yeah, very nice indeed. Well, there we go, guys. Guess that brings us to the end. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that, Joe and Rick. Yeah, and Andrew, if you're still about. Scotty, if you made it back. Really good to see you all again. I know there's people obviously in the chat that don't participate in the chat. So, let's say thanks for watching to you as well. Say in the chat, but just not chatting, basically. So great to see you as well. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I think did Jay turn up before in Tails as well? I think Tails did, didn't he? But yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day if you're still about. Good to see you all. Yeah, Tails, yes, Tails was there before. Right, well, have a good weekend, guys. Yeah, as I say, there's a 6-second delay before I go, so apologies if I've missed you. It's just the fact there's a delay, so not ignoring you. Oh, no problem at all, Joe. It's great to see you all. Yeah, it really is great to see you. Have a lovely day yourself, Joe, as well. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, take care, everyone. See you soon. See you next time. And hopefully I'll win the Easter egg. Well, the cream egg prize, fingers crossed. Keep going, Easter eggs. Fingers crossed on Wednesday. Bye for now, guys. Take care. Bye. Oh, thanks, Taylor. See you later. I'll see you later, Rick. You've probably gone to sleep, but see you later. If I scared, it's good to see you again. Bye.